Hey everyone, this is my man Justin of My Man Justin's Collectible Emporium, and I'm your man for Pokemon cards and collectibles. Today we're going to talk about Shining cards, both old from Neo Destiny and the newer ones from Shining Legends. The Neo Destiny set might be one of the most valuable sets in the Pokemon world. We're going to talk about it, we're going to look at the cards up close, we're going to talk a little bit about costs, and we'll talk about the difference between the older Neo Destiny cards and the newer Shining Legend ones. So let's get right into this. Alright, so today we are going to talk about the Shining Pokemon from Neo Destiny. Here is the Shining Kabutops. Neo Destiny is the final set in the Neo series, and it showcased a unique artwork for the Shining cards. With these cards, their artwork is different because the holographic is actually on the Pokemon itself. It was the first set to do this. It's actually technically the second set to have Shining cards, the first set being Neo Revelation, which had a Shining Gyarados and a Shining Magikarp, but those did not have this artwork with the Pokemon itself being holographic. So it has a unique artwork. It has a unique rarity symbol with 3 stars. The Shining type are unique. It's different than Shiny, which is just a color variation. The Shining types, you could only have one in your deck, and they required multiple kinds of energy to use. It was also the last of the Wizards of the Coast set to have the Wizards of the Coast old school style artwork, and the last set to have the first edition stamp, which you can see here on this Noctowl. It's the last set to have the first edition stamp, limited printings. The next sets were the 3 E-Series sets, the last 3 sets by Wizards of the Coast, Expedition, Aquapolis, and Skyridge. Those were the first sets that started the reverse holo printings on the area opposite to the artwork of the Pokemon, where the rest of the card was shiny, holographic. So there's a lot of things about Neo Destiny that make it really special. It kind of tops off the golden age of the Pokemon era, and according to Zach Browning, quoted from the PSA magazine in April 2018, it is the second best set behind base set. So definitely a sought-after set. Also to note, in that same magazine, they quoted a first edition booster box of Neo Destiny being worth around $4,500. As we speak of today, a first edition booster box of Neo Destiny is listed at $28,000. So that was only a year ago, and it's gone up quite a bit. So as you can see, the artwork is awesome on it. The Pokemon are very aggressively stanced. Here's the Mewtwo. The total set of Shining cards consists of 8. So this set, it's another unique subset, kind of like the later Gold Star Pokemon, which are also shiny variations and have the Gold Star symbol, as I showed with that Gold Star Charizard earlier on. So it's a unique subset. Some people just specifically collect the Shining Pokemon, and here is the ultimate chase card of the Neo Destiny Shinings, the Charizard. It's one of my favorite Charizard artworks behind the base set and the Gold Star Charizard is the Shining Charizard. This is one that will be kept for my personal collection. It's a good card to have as an investment because the more rare Charizard and older Charizard cards, especially in this kind of condition, are good cards to hold on to as they will potentially increase in value over time. Just to give you an example of the increase value of Charizard, this is a base set. I'm speaking of a base set Charizard. About 4 years ago, a first edition PSA 9 base set Charizard was sold for $4,000. I sold one, now they are worth about 9,000. So, and this I wanted to show you. It's not a real Wizards of the Coast licensed card, but it's a very cool card. It's very nostalgic. Anyone that played Pokemon Red will know about this card. Might bring back some memories of talking to the Pokemon trainer and then flying over to Cinnabar Island and surfing up and down the coast and encountering this glitch Pokemon that would make your seventh item in your bag become infinite, or at least above 100. It is said that the odds of getting a shining card are 1 in 300. I've also read that you can expect 1 to 3 per box, so they're still very rare. This set, another thing about Neo Destiny that just makes it a special set, is it was the first set to showcase light Pokemon to offset the dark Pokemon. As you can see here, the set symbol represents a dark and a light star, representing the light and the dark Pokemon in the set. As far as what these are worth, I've spoken a little bit in the past, but I'll talk more about in the future, is how to determine how to list cards, what cards to grade, what cards to list buy it now, what cards to list auction. It's very circumstantial, but I did decide to list the Kabutops, Raichu, and Tyranitar on auction. They'll be ending this Sunday, so if you want a chance to win them, you can. The reason I chose that is because I don't think they'll make PSA 10. You know, they are mint. I don't think they'll have a problem making 9. But apart from that, cards like this that are just really sought after, extremely rare, they're so volatile in price that I would just rather let the market decide and let the bidders decide what they want to pay, and let them be sold in that manner. I'll also note, in the regular holographics in this set, the lowest PSA 10 card in the population is the light Togetic. So that means that if you do get a PSA 10 Togetic, it's going to carry a premium. Some other notable cards, the light Arcanine and the dark Espeon are going to be cards in the normal holographic rare set that are especially valuable. Let's also note that this set was known to be hard to grade because it was common for cards to have some silvering on the borders fresh out the pack, resulting in them getting PSA 8 grades just fresh out the pack. There are 3 more shining cards that I don't have, or I'm sorry, two more. There's just a shining Onyx and a shining Celebi that would complete the shining set. So this is 6 out of the 8, well, kind of 7 if you count the shining missing now. So with all that being said, this is just a great set to collect. It's a great set to invest in. There's so much history with this set. You know, it's the last set with the Wizards of the Coast artwork. It's the last set with first edition stamp. It's the first set with the unique shiny Pokemon with the holographic on the Pokemon. It's the first set with the light Pokemon. So it's just a historical set. It's going to be the kind of set that you want to have. It's only going to increase in value. They're not printing any more of these ever again. They're long out of print. And on top of that, the artwork is just great. You can see even with the holo pattern on them, they even use different shades of the holo to make it seem, give it more depth, make it seem like those are like her feathers, they're kind of ruffled. And that's in contrast to, I'll talk about the newest Shining Pokemon that were released with Shining Legends, a Sun and Moon set, and you can see the artwork just isn't on the same level. It's just a little more basic. They still look nice. And there's different Pokemon showcased. Like here's the shiny Rayquaza, and it's also shiny. You know, it's the black Rayquaza. And there's a shining Jirachi. Again, just a little more basic. These cards are going to have a lot higher amount of PSA 10 and PSA 9 gradings because at this point in time, Pokemon is more popular. A lot more people are aware of grading and are getting cards graded. So even PSA 10 variations of these will go maybe $60, $70, $80. The Mew would be an exception, it'd be worth up to $200. But I mean, a PSA 10 Shining Charizard Unlimited probably worth around $2,000. So time will tell what kind of price these realize, if any more than now. Like this card right now, probably worth around $20 in mint condition, which this one is. It's kind of up to the collector individually if they want to get it graded. I mean, if you think it's a PSA 10, it's probably a good card to get graded. It's still a cool set to have, especially if you have the original one, just to see the progression. It's kind of historical to have both these new ones and the old ones to see how things have changed with Pokemon. It's just cool to see them next to each other. One thing to note here with the Shining Tyranitar, you'll notice down here, it looks like it's an error. Well, it is an error, but unfortunately all of the Shining Tyranitars have this error. It should say with just one arm, but it says with hust one arm, but they actually all say that. They never corrected that one. So in that regard, I think even the newer Shining set is still going to be a sought after set. It's still going to be appreciated. It's the only other set that had the Shining type Pokemon with the Pokemon themselves being holographic. So it's still a nice artwork. They're still special in that sense. And they'll still be a set that'll be collected. And I think it'll be consistently collected. It just might not ever get to increasingly high prices given the fact that there was more printed, there's more in higher grades, and so there it is. The Neo Destiny Shining and the Shining Legends Shining Pokemon. Some of these cards, specifically these three, will be headed to PSA. I'll make another video to see what the grades are. Hopefully we get some PSA 10s out of them. As you can see, they are in extremely good condition. They're centered nicely. There's no scratches on the hollow. There's no imperfections on the surface of the card. The corners look great. The Charizard has a little off-centered up top. Mewtwo looks centered nice. But we'll see. Thanks for stopping by.